Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. Things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and medications are hard to pronounce, so please bear with me. Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
So this post says, should I be worried after speaking to a non-emergency? I only got diagnosed with epilepsy a few months ago, so I'm pretty new to all this. I called the non-emergency line earlier today since I could consciously speak to the provider and had awareness. They told me I just had a fever and ended the call. I have a history of tonic-clonic seizures and take Lamictal. During my suspected seizure, I experienced extremely loud ringing in my ears, confusion, disassociation, uncontrollable shaking in hands and feet, difficulty sitting up, profuse sweating, double plus blurred vision. Like my muscles would just tense up all of a sudden like a cramp and then shake uncontrollably. Should I be worried? I think so. I wouldn't say worried like scared, but it's
What
something.
doctor was he?
I think he said he just speaking to a non-emergency.
So it's like maybe calling the nurse.
Oh yeah, called the non-emergency line earlier. This person says, and they basically, you should be worried. You should tell your neuro that this is going on and see what's going to happen. Get some help. Don't hold anything back from the neuro. I actually can't even say that because I was gonna tell my neuro that I didn't want to tell them that what was it? That there was something I posted. I forgot what it was, so we're not gonna sit around waiting for it. Yeah, there was that. Let your neurologist know everything that's going on and they can help you. Yeah. Oh, the thing I was gonna say is I didn't tell my doctors that my meds they cause hypersalivation. So my mouth is always watering and stuff. And what I was telling someone is I don't know if that's a reason to tell your doctor because it's not bothering me. I don't want him to give me a pill for hypersalivation. I don't mind having, I mean, a wet mouth, basically. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah. So, yeah, I suggest telling your neurologist things that matter, but I don't know what hypersalivation is going to do to me in the future. So I looked up the side effects of that, but so far that's something I feel like he might not need to know unless it gets bad. Worse than
I think
hypersalivation.
you should still tell him and just tell him that it's not bothering you enough to worry about due to, it's not a side effect that you're concerned about, but you wanted to let him know.
Sometimes it's easier to work that out too with the PA or whoever's walking you back to do like the vitals or just the initial kind of get you to the room thing. If they ask you just how you been, you could say, "Well, I have been, drooling a little more, but I don't really think it's that important. It's not getting in the way of anything," and see if they even pass it along. But getting it on your chart makes sense. Because sometimes side effects come up. I don't think they're that big of a deal. I don't mention it, but then I don't realize it gets worse over like 2 or 3 years. And then come, being on the meds for 3 years, they keep up in the dose. And I don't even think of what to look out for.
You
But
don't
then I
realize it's
realize
getting worse.
exactly. That's the best way to say it. You don't realize it gets worse until it's a problem.
Right, that makes sense now. You don't know. I forgot what you said already. Wow.
It happens. It happens. You don't realize it's getting worse until it's a problem.
Yeah.
One of these nights you wake up choking, coughing or something, and that could be why. You ended up sleeping on your back and a little too much drool could get in the way.
I drool all the time, and I'm sitting up most of the time.
Yeah, so that could get in the way when you're trying to sleep.
Sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I'm just like, why is my mouth watering on the side and not paying attention, and then I got something in the corner of my mouth and it just drips down. But no one notices because of my mustache. So there's that. I just go like this time to time. No one notices what it's from.
So now it's
I
your
think that's
built-in bib.
Mm. Oh, man.
Whatever works. But yeah, make a note makes sense.
I made a note. It's on the note for the next doctor's appointment. Everything is right there on that sticky note. The other thing is bills, seizures, phone numbers, and passwords.
I keep forgetting to tell my neurologist that I've noticed my ears are ringing now. So I
Oh, is there any
understand.
pattern to that?
I don't know when it started. I just realized my ears are ringing now. Like I only notice it every once in a while. But I
Me
don't.
too. I had to write that down because I do too. I noticed the ringing, and
You're
it's
welcome.
yeah. Thank you. Because I've heard about the ringing, but now that you're on the Motrigine, I could say we're both on the Motrigine, and this is happening. Um,
I don't remember when it started for me, so I don't know if it what medicine it was. I have no idea, and I have no memory. So
And that's the worst part about being able to compare or having to like be your own advocate of comparing your notes to your medical chart. Go on my chart and just look at your appointment history. Make sure the appointment history is detailed enough to tell what they told you to start doing. Because a lot of times that's where I get in trouble is looking at my own visit summaries and it doesn't tell me enough. I know the
yeah,
doctor told me to switch something up or do something different. And I leave the hospital. That appointment was really early. I know I got up too early, so I take a nap as soon as I get home. And yeah, I forgot what they told me to do, and the notes don't help.
yeah.
So
I never
that
remember
is a
anything.
repeated history. Yeah, that's
But
pretty popular.
even though I track so much, I lost so much now that I'm living by myself because I don't have any witnesses now.
So do you think you might go that nanny cam, nest cam, like one of those in-home camera
I'm
routes?
gonna have to figure something out. I just haven't figured out what I'm gonna do, and there's been so much chaos right going on that I it's on the list, but it hasn't made it to the top yet,
Yeah,
to
just
be
cracking down
honest
to
with
making
you.
a choice. It's just gonna have to take priority. One of these
I
days,
know,
that's gonna have to be the day
I know.
to research and make the call and follow through. Because on the bright side, just to give you a heads up, every in-home camera system we tried had that free trial. Especially now that there's so many more out there on, Amazon and like every online platform, you can get them specifically with that selling point of you can try this for free for 30 days. We'll give you, if you stick with the $20 a month subscription, we'll give you that they can save the data for like 10 days. I think was the
Yeah,
one that I
Cloud.
had. And that
Yeah.
is a big help.
Yeah,
yeah,
I can put an SD card in my camera, and then on the app, I can tell it to save everything to the SD card, and for the most part, that works. Then I see people stealing from me, and and I see my seizures. And I see my mom saving me from falling off the bed during a seizure.
And I like the
So much
night vision ones
that's
too.
I don't
uh,
know if I want to see myself having a seizure.
But you might have to.
I
And
know,
if anything, I was just thinking I know other people are gonna need to.
I want to see
I
one
know.
that's more in depth than the one I had. The one I had, my camera was just like right above my bed, just looking at me in bed. But then I was just kind of shaking on my back for like 45 seconds.
I'm gonna ask to see the last EMU say I did. I asked to see the videos and I ended up not ever getting them and I didn't ever pursue it. So
Well,
that
that's
didn't
concerning.
happen. And this time make sure that I'm gonna get any videos, and if I can't, if nothing happens and I don't have, like, if nothing happens at that EMU stay, I'll be pursuing trying to get the videos from my last one, and I hope they'll still have them. I would think they would.
Seems like you'd have to get the right number. Just be talking to the right person that would actually be able to get that done.
Yeah. Call medical records. I've done it before. Gotten a lot of stuff before.
Seems
Yeah,
like
I
you
got
still have to get the right person. One will tell you to go back to the office. One will tell you, I need you to sign this. And once you get the right one, it's like, okay, do you want this on, printed out or on a card? It's like praise.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I got some comments from this one that saying should be worried after the speaking to non-emergency. First comment said it happened and it lasted less than 5 minutes. Alert them. If you have multiple ones in a day, then go to the ER. Another comment says, whenever I go to the ER, symptoms like that, they would just calm down and send me home or send reports to neurologists. The symptoms vary from person to person and can take a week or a month or longer to get better. I had this during my last menstrual cycle, but didn't end up in the ER. Ended up in the ER, severe chest pain, entire left body going numb, and intense hallucinations. Those are my warning signs. All the best. Those are some rough signs right there. Six seizures in a day. Anybody ever had that? 6 seizures?
That would be the
I,
cluster actually getting you to think ER.
I think I have, but exactly, I think I have. Can't remember because I was the one having them. So got
That's
something
going to be
here
the
that
days that
says
you
six
don't remember.
seizures. Say that again.
Those are going to be the days you don't remember, whether they were focal or tonic-clonics. If it gets to more than 3 within like 4 hours, I'm not going to remember, 8 hours before and after. The whole day is going to be gone but after I fall asleep. If I get out of that cluster, if they nasalam me and I come to out of the cluster and somebody coherent enough reminds me, you don't like to go to sleep right after these clusters, so don't. Those were the ones that I appreciated because then I had a chance of being coherent enough to remember what I wanted to write down and at least take some notes. Because reading my own notes is honestly almost more convincing than even watching somebody's video. Because by the time they're taking the video, somebody's already sitting there saying, hold this water bottle, take us, I'm already halfway back. Whereas reading my own notes, I can write down what I was doing right before, when it happened. I just feel like you're more likely to find triggers that way. Once again, helping yourself, self-advocating.
Yeah, one here that says 6 seizures. I've had my 6th seizure since December. I'm suffering with memory loss issues. I've had my hours at work have with no way out. It's starting to wait, hold on. Since I've had 6 seizures since this December, I'm suffering with memory loss and I've had hours at work reduced, and now I'm on the verge of losing everything I have with no way out. It's starting to really get hard to me. My depression is getting worse by the day, and I don't know IDK. I don't know what to do or do when to turn. I'm getting worried what I might do, and I don't want to go back to the mental hospital. That's just a temporary fix to the bigger issue. Anyone here have any ideas that I could try to do before I lose everything? 6 seizures at work? I do not relate. I think someone said I had a lot within a 20-minute span, so I went to the hospital, but I don't think I've had, yeah, that's rough. I don't have had that many at work. That's what I can say. I think jobs, I usually have 1 or 2 before they start talking about what's going on and stuff like that. Other than that, usually good. Try to take my meds, try to do what I can to eat right and all that stuff. not have a seizure. Don't want to keep traumatizing people, as they say. That's another thing I wanted to see, Andrea's my seizures, because I didn't mean to judge anybody, but I was like, I want to see what they're so traumatized about. I don't know if that was the right way to say it, but I was like, I want to see what's so traumatizing. So I watched the video, and yeah, my mom was there. She was like, hold me so I don't fall off the edge of the bed. And it's my fucking superhero, bro. My
What did you
mom,
think after you saw it?
I was like, I need to call my mom. I cried watching it. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, my mom is just taking care of it. She's just like, come on, sunshine. Come on, sunshine. You got this. And
Oh wow.
yeah, like 40 seconds.
I think that that's part of why I didn't like I have mixed feelings about it. It's like I'm afraid of what I'm gonna see. Because I'm like afraid of what, I don't know
Like
what
what
I
the
do.
hype is.
I don't know what I do. I don't know how I act or behave, and there's so many different seizure types and different responses from people, and I don't I would hate for my loved ones to go through something traumatizing.
Yeah, I watched my mom go through it, and I haven't got to see anybody traumatizing yet because my mom's been through it so much that she handled it and was just like, she handled it. No
You
problem.
were How old were you when you started having the seizures?
When was my first, or when did I start having seizures? It's two different spots.
Yes. Both,
Okay,
I guess.
so I was run over by a car when I was 5. Uh, I was drugged 40 car lengths. I had my backpack on and I was in the crosswalk. Um, what saved me is that my mother, she put my backpack on and then she put my jacket on. So essentially, I'm thinking that's what saved me from breaking my back and dying. But I shattered my femur in 2 spots, so I had pins in my leg. And yeah, I was in a coma for 33 days, January 5th, 1993. 1995, on my way to school. Some other kids, they were with me in front of me, and I was holding someone's hand as that happened. So that could be very traumatizing to whoever was holding my hand. I can't remember. I don't remember even waking up that morning. I remember waking up out of a coma and trying to take the thing out of my throat, and yeah, then wondering why I'm in the hospital. I thought I was late for school. My mom was like, school was a long time ago. You missed school. I had seizure, and then I guess that's why they put me into an induced coma. And then, yeah, like I said, when I came out of that 33 days later, then I didn't have any until 11 years later when I was 16. And yeah, ever since 16, I've been having them. Now I'm 36, 20 years down the line, still here. It gets better with time, and it gets better with time. But I hate to say it, it's gonna get worse, a lot worse before it gets better.
I think
Prepare
that your
yourself.
mom is such a superhero because she just knew exactly what to do because she's been doing it since, you were so young, and she's just a pro. So
And
she,
her
Uh,
reaction, like such an immediate reaction, and know that you have that connection of like what to say and what to
yeah,
do. That's kind of like how my mom calls the shots of telling, and that's how daughter picked up on it. Now daughter's telling bro, get the washcloth, get the spray bottle, and like, I mean, yeah, he has more fun with that because mommy's not telling him put sprayed me in the face. I'm not doing his hair, and that's the same spray bottle he uses that he hated when I used to do the braids, and now he gets to spray me with that. Yeah, that sealed the deal.
I'll bet he
So
loves
now
it.
they learn the best lessons that way. And now sister totally took over, and Nana's just like in the corner, like, wait, I don't have to do anything anymore. Okay, let me record. Then somebody finds something
That's
to do,
good.
and it's precious. It's really amazing, the support system when everybody actually comes together or happens to be around at the same time. It is amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, there's no comments to this 6 seizures in a day thing, but yeah, that's rough, man. This was 2 days
Did
ago.
they Did they have, were they tonic-clonics or focals, or did they specify?
No, just 6
They said
seizures.
seizures?
Oh, I don't think it said in a day. Yeah, whoever's listening could have listened. But yeah, 6 seizures. So that is a lot if that's one day.
Yeah, you're just in a fog.
How many seizures do you think you've had so far?
Well, before I knew that they were seizures, like I said, that at one point of time they were calling my focals panic attacks, and I had logged 47 in one day was my highest.
Oh, on one of those EMUs, like an
No, just in my
ambulatory.
phone. Every time I had one, I would log it in my phone.
Wow, you counted those out yourself. So you're
Yeah,
coherent enough to actually
yeah,
scroll through the phone, type in a password, do
afterwards,
all that?
or afterwards. Like usually afterwards, I would be like, okay, something, because I'm always awake through it. They're aware.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
The ones where I'm losing awareness, I think, are just more recent
Makes sense.
because I've been having them. I have both where I have the focal and I'm there through it, and I can like still kind of sort of carry on a conversation. Not
Okay.
not a complicated conversation, but a very simple conversation.
That is
And
You
interesting.
okay? And you could say
I
yeah
wish.
or something.
right, I can kind of just follow along and yep and uh-huh and that kind of thing until it passes because they're really short. And then I've also just recently found out because I've had a couple around a couple of people and they've told me, no, you were not there. I was talking to you and you were not responding. And I was like, I don't remember that at all. So there's at least some of them that I'm losing some consciousness on.
Would you say
So
those are
either
progressing or they've always just been two like separate events?
I don't know because
Need the evidence.
I'm
And you're not there.
yeah,
You can't even give yourself the evidence. Yeah, I
I
know
don't
that's true.
know. I'm alone so much, I just don't know.
Surveillance would do some good for sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's kind of amazing that something you said, oh, that you can still carry on with the conversation. That's nice. I wish I could still carry on with the conversation. But in my focals, I'm either wandering off or just not there, just staring at stuff and not paying attention to what no one's saying. And that one, it's kind of crazy because it's like,
Do you still know what's going on around you when you're just
uh,
staring?
okay, so I could explain it this way. The last situation where this happened before I started taking the B12, shout out to Nature's Made. Um, Before I started taking the B12 by Nature's Made, um, I had one, and then the next day I was like, "Let me get this B12 because I heard it could work," and it worked since then. But the one that made me get it was I was looking out the window when I was a sliding door, and I was sitting on the floor because I was doing something on the floor. But then I just stopped and started staring out the window, and I keep telling myself that's a nice tree and it's really green and it was flourishing and I don't know why I was staring at it, but something caught my attention and I couldn't take my attention off of it. And I kept thinking that's a nice tree. And a nice tree is the last thing I would have think. But when I came out of it, all I heard was nachos. How does that sound? And the whole time I could hear him talking, but I couldn't understand it. It's how I explain it is like being at a football game or just in a stadium. You can hear people, but you can't make out what everyone's saying, and that's what it
That's
was
not
like.
right.
Yeah. So when I came to, it turned from static to sounding like he was right next to me. Nachos, how does that sound? And then I told him, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't hear anything you just said. I was just staring at that tree. And then he was like, "Yeah, I know. You were kind of looking blank. I didn't pick up on it." It's like, thank you, because yeah, that was the last time I had a focal. Same day, I went to Instacart, Safeway, And buy one, get one free. Nature's Matter, you can't beat it. Buy one, get one. So I buy one, get one all the time. It's like $20, but yeah, if you can buy one, get one, then get one.
Sure.
Yeah, I know CVS has them. Buy one, get one, but it's not the same ones I have. I have extra strength, and that's 3,000 micrograms a day. So in the morning, it'll be 1,500 micrograms, and at the night it'll be 1,500 micrograms, and that pretty much gets me to this point. The only reason I'm kind of tired now is because I smoked some pot, but I'm bouncing back, getting there. How many seizures do you guys think you've had if you had to count? Like, wild guess, ballpark,
Over a lifetime?
over, yes.
I gotta get the calculator.
uh,
I'd say between 800 and 1,000 is probably a high estimate on me, but I've just started in 2020.
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing for me, between 1,000 and maybe 1,200 actually. Yeah, so it's been a lot. But if I count in focals, it's probably around.
I was counting those.
Okay, I wasn't. So I was counting TCs. Okay, I should count myoclonics too. Then I'm probably near 3,000. But if I count tonics, uh, if I count tonics and focals, then I'd say somewhere nearing 1,500, 1,300 to 1,500. But if it's just TCs, it's around 8 to 900, maybe 1,200, just TCs. Yeah.
It's TCs alone, I've probably had 12.
Oh, lucky you.
So you
Yeah,
just slice that down to like a fraction, not even a quarter, but like a fraction.
right.
I think mine was
I,
worse because I was a teen, so I was
they
having
were
more
panic
tonics.
attacks.
I was
Oh, okay.
having way more tonics because I wasn't caring about my health in particular. I was just
Well,
kind of
yeah,
having seizures and having my friends to not tell my mom. So I wouldn't have to go in the house and not come out and stuff like that. So I was having a lot of seizures with friends, and eventually they got used to it, and they were like, "Okay, we got this. We're not gonna tell his mom. We're not gonna call the ambulance." And luckily, they knew what they were doing. I made it out. Uh, yeah, it's how it happens when you're in a gang and they
I
follow.
didn't I didn't want to admit it to myself for a little bit, and I drove a few times after they told me not to, and just I wasn't running all over town, but there was a few times I was super stir crazy, and I was just like, I'm going out to my friend's house. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, I did that and crash.
I was very fortunate.
Yeah, me too, because the airbag is what brought me to, and I was able to park and continue the session or the episode. Yeah, it was a rough time, but I made it through, and I'm here to tell my story. I didn't hurt anybody. No near death situations. No one was on the road. But the actual person that was on the road actually was one person, and it was Christmas morning, and he had just left work, and he was a doctor in a Santa suit.
You're kidding. That's great.
Yeah, so he passed us as I hit the wall, I guess. And I guess when I pulled over, I seen him ahead of us pull over too. Then, as I was blinking and fading out, I could see him running towards us in a Santa suit, which I thought was really weird. But they told me the story later on. And I've also been told that I tried to run from him. So,
Of
yeah,
course you did.
imagine that. Yeah.
You were probably a bad kid that year.
Nah, I was a good kid. That was the times where it was getting better. I shouldn't have been driving. That was the thing. Yeah, I was up all night the night before because it was Christmas, and yeah, I was just up all night watching TV. And then the reason, I mean, then because I have insomnia, I was just up just because.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
No, we
I'm
all
just
know
saying,
how you have more energy. Just don't need as much sleep in those first 20 years.
and I just dropped my daughter off. Just dropped my daughter off at home, and on the way back, yeah, at the center divide, I was more than halfway home already, but yeah, still.
I'm so glad that you're okay.
The car wasn't that bad. It was the rim. Uh, yeah, it wasn't. The car wasn't all crumpled up on the front driver head side. Um,
Yeah.
it was the bumper and the rim was messed up. So there was that.
I'll bet you screwed up your alignment and the axle and all that too if you screwed up the rim that bad.
Oh yeah, the car was totaled. Um,
I used to work on cars, Pookie.
it was my girlfriend's car.
Oh no.
When that happened, um,
And they wanted to hear that there was a driver not on the insurance behind the wheel. So that claim could get denied.
yeah, my mom gave us her car. Luckily, she had another car at the time. She gave my girlfriend that car because I had crashed her car, and then yeah, and we went about life and finished life, and now we're not exactly friends, but we're okay.
That's good. Hey
Yeah,
James.
on my back.
Oh, you're doing your.
Hey guys. Yeah,
Want me to
sorry.
shut the door?
Yeah, it's fine. Hey guys, what's up? What's up?
Hey, hey.
There's yeah, that was my dad. We just got home from I don't know if any of y'all saw my post, but yeah, from getting the newer COVID shot. So just got that about an hour ago. We grabbed some food.
So how do vaccines fare with you? Have you ever had one of those like induced seizures after a vaccine?
I've never had a seizure directly from one, but I have had like
Okay.
kind of like the adverse like side effects, like the very, very first one that came out, Um, I got home and like within, I don't know, like a couple of hours, like I was just out, like just completely knocked out,
Like
like
sleep?
asleep.
Oh, okay.
Um, and so a couple of them, they've made me, kind of drowsy. So I assume that's what's gonna happen with this one. The reason I had posted my question about it this last time was it had been a couple of years since the last one came out, and my yeah, I've had a lot more seizures over the last couple of years since I got the last one. So that's why I was asking y'all if anything affected you guys or whatever. So
So in
I've
this
heard
case, you have a Nest
stories.
Cam. Is somebody going to be checking in? Should we have an emergency contact just in case you go out?
no,
Okay.
it'll be okay. Yeah, you guys just saw my dad pop
Okay.
in real quick. He's here with me. Yeah, I guess maybe we should all share emergency contact
That
information,
is that is
but
convenient.
for right now, I'm good for today, even if I do decide to go and pass out and take a nap.
Okay. No problem. No problem. We have our emergency contact list. Feel free to, direct message, put it in the chat, whatever. And
Yeah,
it's
thank you.
there
No,
for the regulars for sure.
I really appreciate you asking.
Like
Yeah,
the
it means a
hat.
lot. What's
I
up,
like the
Pookie?
hat.
Oh,
Nice
thank you. Hey, I'm gonna maybe only Pookie will get this, but oh, can you see it? Oh, you probably can't. It's the Philadelphia A's
Oh,
from the early 1900s, and
oh, nice.
a sweater. You know me and my sewing. I made my own sweater, bro. I made my own
Yeah.
1920s Philadelphia A's sweater.
Wow. You
I
got
might need,
skills for real.
right, I might need some patches on a jacket or a shirt or something. Yeah.
Tell me you make your own Halloween costume.
I don't. There's a couple of things that I've made that go with it, but since I'm such a history nerd, my Halloween costume is generally World One soldier.
Okay.
I have obviously I do the mustache up, so it
Yes,
kind of fits
that's
in.
beyond that's not
I
cashmere.
I
You're not
have
working with
I
sticking
have a
that.
legit I have a legit helmet with a bullet dent in the side of it. A World War One German,
Wow, and that was
or
actually
well,
linked to
sorry,
the World War.
Prussian at the time, because that's where my family came from, was Prussia. Um, but yeah, uh, oh dude, once Halloween hits, I'm gonna be super nerdy.
So you're not staying
You
home to
guys will
hand
see
out
some
candy.
pictures.
Looking forward to
Nothing
it.
wrong with being super nerdy. Nothing wrong at all.
So,
Now, while
and
we're there, wouldn't
thank you guys for listening to me and my rants and my post about Tuesday. That's always a tough day. So thank you guys. Thank you.
It's all right.
yeah.
You're okay to have a bad day. Maybe if you're talking to someone without epilepsy, they might not agree, but I agree. I
You'll never
believe
hear
you should
any
be
other
able to have
view.
a bad day because of your epilepsy, because of anything. Yeah. You don't have to apologize. I don't apologize for my epilepsy anymore because it's like, you
Brings
I'm
you
not gonna say
down.
you got used to it, so I shouldn't apologize, but I will say, like, yeah, most of the time when I used to apologize a lot, I used to be like, it's okay, stop apologizing. So after a while, I just stop apologizing and I haven't got any problems. I mean, I am sorry for apologize for doing that, but I was told don't apologize, so I don't exactly go up and say I'm sorry for that seizure anymore, except for the one where I walked in that man's house. I went back the next day and I told him I apologized, and yeah, James, you weren't here. Did I tell you that story?
I maybe you did, but I don't remember it. I'm sorry, bro. Tell me again. Tell me again.
Oh, so I had a seizure and I walked in
You
someone's house.
I remember you saying that you walked into, yeah, you went into some like random person's home. I remember that part
Yeah,
of it,
the
but I don't
first
remember
time
like all the details. All the details.
the first time I walked into a rehab, and when I came to, I'm screaming at this guy, telling him, get the fuck out of my house. He's like, get the fuck out of my house. This isn't your house. Get the fuck back and forth, doing the back and forth stuff. And then I'm not sure if I had a TC then, but eventually I was at the hospital. But a person that was there at that rehab went down the street to my family because they'd seen me so many times, the ambulance pulling up. My seizures were bad at that time. And yeah, luckily he was like, "Oh, I see you all the time having seizures, and I know you're down there with those people." Um, so he was able to go get my family. And the other situation was most recently. That was January 15th, 2025. That wasn't recent. Uh, that's far from recent. That sounded. The last recent one where I walked into someone's home was I was laying down on the couch, and next thing I know, I'm on the second floor when I actually lived on the fourth floor. Uh, I'm on the second floor, on the floor, no shoes on, sitting against the wall, and this guy passes me and he nods, "What's up?" And I nodded, "What's up?" too. And I just felt weird. I didn't know what was going on, so I just stood up and I start walking. And he kept looking back like I was following him. I didn't know what I was doing. Um, but essentially I was following him, I guess. And yeah, when he put his key in the door and unlocked the door and went like this, I just walked right in. I remember that too, and I remember me keep telling him that I know somebody here. I remember keep saying that. I know somebody here. I know somebody here. And he was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yeah, I do. I know somebody here. And then I went in the living room. His living room is like you go around a loop and then there's a living room right there. I laid on this man's couch and he sat by my head, the head end. I went in there and I laid like the arm of the couch right here. Then I laid on the middle pillow and then he sat on the other side. And I remember all this. I just don't remember where he said, he said, I got angry at something he said and I got up and walked out. Or I seemed like I was getting irritated, I think he said. And when I got back upstairs to the fourth floor, that's when I was playing Grand Theft Auto when it happened. And I asked my friends, I was like, what's going on? They were like, what's going on with you is what we should be asking. I mean, it's what we're asking. And I was like, nothing's going on with me. And they're like, well, you were crying and then you disappeared. And then I was like, please explain. And they said, you were here, you started crying, and you kept crying and crying. You're like full blown crying, they said. And they muted me because I was crying, but I was playing. I was just crying. I don't remember that. So once I got back upstairs, that's when they told me that I was crying. And then they said they unmuted me because I stopped playing. So when they unmuted me is when I took off and went downstairs. So yeah, I put the pieces together with that. And the next day I went and apologized to him, told him, I had a seizure. That's
Yeah,
one of the type of seizures where I'm confusion type. And he was like, it's okay. He was like, I knew something was wrong. And so he said, I've seen the ambulance come get you a few times in front of the complex, so I know. And I was like, people
yeah.
seeing me having seizures is what's saved me so far. Is they're like, well, I see you there, so I knew something was wrong. Didn't just stand my ground and kill you because that could have happened. Just walking in someone's home, they have the right to do whatever they can to protect their things themselves. So
I've yeah, I've never had something like that like go into somebody else's home, but I've had, a few times where, wake up, I'll talk to somebody and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? Good morning." And then they'll just like, they'll look at me like disgusted or, just like with like an angry face or something. And I'm like, what's wrong? What happened? And then I have no clue that, the things that I had said to them the night before or the day before, So it's like, it, I don't quite feel you on wandering into some like a stranger's house, but yeah, just like, yeah, not knowing what the hell happened the night before. Yeah, I got you on
it's
that one, man.
messed up. But yeah, my friends, they put the pieces together for me. And as they were telling me certain parts, is when certain parts would come to me, like, okay, I did do this, and okay, that is weird, and I shouldn't have done that. Like the parts where I was crying, and then they were like, you just left. And I was like, okay, yeah, so obviously I don't remember leaving, so that's the part where I wandered off. And yeah, they said I was gone like 20 minutes. And I think after 30 is when it'll kick you from the server because you aren't doing anything. And I was back within 20. So I'm gonna say I wasn't gone that long, but I was gone 20 minutes. So that is a lot. And I don't know how long I was sitting on that hallway floor, but I remember going in that man's house, laying on the couch, telling him I know where stuff is. I remember leaving. I don't remember leaving because I was irritated. He said I seemed really irritated when he was talking to me. I don't remember that part, but obviously he knows best because I wasn't there and he was. Uh, so yeah. And then there was
That's
another
funny.
one. There was another one I knew nothing about until I explained that situation to a friend. And he was, I think it was all of my friend. Did you hear that? There was a motorcycle passing. It was loud. I don't know if you guys could hear that.
I heard
It was,
something.
yeah, it was quick.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you're
yeah,
good. You're good.
yeah. So I went to the store because I used to go to the smoke shop a lot, and eventually I was cool with them because I might have been their best customer because I buy cigars by the boxes, and Yeah, the guy I told him the story, he laughed about it and he was like, I think you did that here before. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, there was one time you came and you were looking weird. And he was like, usually you come in and you nod and you say what's up. He was like, this time you didn't do that. You just went to the island in the middle of the smoke shop. And I was just walking around the island for 20 minutes, he said. I would stop time to time and look down at the clothes and the bongs and all that stuff. And he said, I really did that for like 20 minutes. And eventually he said, what's up? And he said, when he said what's up to me, he said, I said, shut up and stumped out. And I don't remember that, but when I do put the pieces together, I remember bits and pieces of that day. I remember getting dressed. I remember the whole day feeling kind of odd. I was getting dressed, I was cleaning up, I'm dancing to music that I'm playing. Um, and I don't know why I was getting dressed. I showered like I was ready to go somewhere. And I remember the beginning where I was feeling weird, like, where am I going? Why am I getting all this dressed and all this and whatever? And then I remember being in front of the apartment complex. Um, and then I remember some of the walk back, but I don't remember anything after going out front and seeing the street. I was like, why am I here? Why am I on the street? Uh, then I remember the walk back, some of it, bits and pieces. So yeah, if someone helps me put the pieces together, it's I can remember small things. And yeah, so I've done that 3 times. Uh, actually, I wouldn't say that was 3 times. I think I've done it 4, if you count the time I wandered off from work. Um, yeah, I left work one time because work was over. I was clocking off, clocking out, and then yeah, I woke up 17 miles where I was working from when I only lived 14 miles away. No, I lived 4 miles away, which was one direction, and I went the other direction to my hometown, 17 miles away. And I woke up in my hometown, getting off the bus, wondering why am I here? And like I said, and to get there was at least 3 buses and a train. So I was gone for at least maybe 2 or 3 hours. 3 buses and a train I had to catch to where I got off at least. I could have got more and just wandered around all day, but yeah, I remember waking up, coming out of that, like, what's wrong? Since I'm in my hometown, I don't live here anymore. Let me get to someone's house that I know. And I crossed the street and I had a seizure in the post office parking lot. And the guy who found me, he said, I only pulled over because I thought you were someone I knew. Thank you. So yeah, I've been wandering off for a while lately and it's not fun. That's why I don't take my kids in public because, like I say, they're just going to follow me just because I'm dad and I don't look odd or whatever the case. But then when I did tell my job that I wandered off the next day, they told me you were looking like a zombie all day. And I was like, I remember the work shift. That's something you guys should point out. If I look like a zombie all day, then you just let me leave work. But that's how it happened. It just let me wander off because I looked like a zombie. I don't remember it, but I remember waking up. I don't remember even paying for those buses or trains. I don't even know how I went about paying for them. I don't know if I had money, but yeah, there was that. I hope you guys don't wander off. Um,
Yeah, Pookie, there was one time, um it was, I want to say, like, I don't know, maybe like 2010-ish or whatever, right? Um and a bunch of like my friends from high school, we all got together and we are like, yeah, let's go to a Warriors game. So, of course, I took Bart there, watched, like, I don't know, like the first half of the game, right? And I was just like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go grab some food, go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. That's the last thing I remember for the night, dude. Like, the next thing I remember is being like, it is waking up in the morning. Somehow I took Bart from Oakland all the way back to Fremont, got my ass home from fucking Union City BART station back to back to that, and I remember none of it. And I'm just so embarrassed because it was like, oh dude, these are like high school friends I haven't seen in like, you know, a few years at least, and this is like going to be like the last time that they remember me, or last time they, you know, they see me. Like, damn it. But yeah, I had a moment like that too. Like, you just stumble off, and you just wonder how the you got home back home, right?
Yeah, you went about the same distance as me. I went to Palo Alto from Hayward. You went from Union City to Oakland, about the same distance away.
Yeah, similar, yeah. And
Yeah.
I still have no clue, no remembering of how I got from the Union City BART station to my home back in, you know, in Fremont. Like I told you, I live in Fremont. So it's about like 2.5 miles. I'm about 2.5 miles from the Union City station. I I have no clue how I got home. None whatsoever. It just, yeah. I'm still confused to this day about it.
For mine, I also lost my bike because I rode my bike to work that day, and I never found out where it went to. But I guess I left work with it and took 3 buses and a train, probably more.
Damn.
And I couldn't imagine just how I was looking, just maybe like a blank stare on these buses and trains. And I don't remember how I paid for it. I don't remember any conversations. I just remember looking out the window, like, where am I at? I was like, oh, this looks familiar. And I got off the bus, like, well, why am I here though? And I was like, oh man, this doesn't feel good. Let me just hurry up and get somewhere. Didn't work. Made it to the parking lot. I think making it across the street kind of saved my life because that person seen me. And he knew my family, so he went and got my family, luckily. But
Nice.
he did tell my family. I didn't know. I thought he was someone else. That's why I jumped out of the car. It's like, oh, thank you. Good thing I look like someone else. But if you guys don't know what James was talking about, he kept saying BART. BART is like our subway. It's just called Bay Area Rail Transit. It's like
Yeah, my bad for not mentioning that. Yeah, sorry.
I know
Very
it's some kind
familiar
of
with it.
transportation, but I didn't know if it was bus or train or what.
it's weird because I don't know what to call it because we have a train. We have a train. It's named Cal Train, and it's actually a train. But there's a BART station, and I don't know what to call it. I don't
Yeah,
know what you guys
I
would
don't either,
call that.
because it's above ground and below ground, so you can't exactly call it a subway, like
Yeah,
a railway, I guess. I don't
yeah.
know what to, yeah, I don't know what other term to call it either.
We'll just stick with BART and get the right tour guides if anybody's ever on the West Coast.
It
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
all of our train and bus systems are named after counties and cities. We have BART, which is Bay Area Rail Transit, and it goes all around the Bay Area. Then we have Caltrain, which is California Train. And then we have SamTrans, which is San Mateo County Transit. And then we have AC Transit on this side, which is Alameda County Transit. Um,
There's a San Jose one too. I can't remember the name off the top of my head now, but there's a, yeah, it's like SJ
yeah,
something
I forgot
something, like San
that one.
Jose. Yeah, another one too. There's so many different ones out here that,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just like, all right, public transit, just call it public transit and get, yeah.
all kinds of different bus systems. And then San Francisco has its own thing. It's called Muni.
Oh, yeah, dude. San Francisco, you
That's
got
like
everything.
that's like a light rail, basically. I don't know if you guys know what light rail is. Maybe I don't know if that's just a California thing. Uh,
The
it's
cable
just
cars, dude, the
yeah,
cable
cable
cars are
car.
my
There
favorite
we
thing.
go.
I love standing like hanging off of the side of a cable car and like checking my pocket watch.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, we're taking over. So let's get back to epilepsy. Sorry, you
We're
guys.
all learning.
Yeah,
I'll shut up. I'm getting really tired right now. Oh,
we'll be
So is
here
this a
slowly.
usual like vaccine effect?
Yeah, I think so. It's been like, yeah, probably about hour and a half or so now, and yeah.
Is there a reason in particular that you got that?
Um, just because it was a newer one. I don't know if you saw my post the other day when I was asking about it.
I
Since
did.
I work at since I work at the elementary school, that's hygiene isn't like a super priority for those little guys. So a lot of times they're just like, oh, hey, Mr. Mustache Man, high five! Like, like right after they sneezed in their hand, they'll be like, yeah, give me a high five. And I'm just like,
Hand
okay,
sanitizer,
I'm gonna go away. Yeah. So I've been trying to keep
Germex.
up. Yeah, I've been trying to keep up on it. That's my main reason is just because of my job. Um, Other than that, it's not really there's no left or right. There's no political
Job made you get it,
decision
right?
or nothing behind it. It's just I think it's something that'll help, and I take it. If
Is
you
your
have a
job
different
allowed
opinion,
to require it of you, or do you feel like that is just the next level of safety because of the job?
oh no, they don't require it.
Okay,
It
that's what
when
I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, when I first started, it was like around like, yeah, 2021. Um, I think it was required then, it was when everybody had to have their little, the card with the
Yeah, the
stamp
whole
on it
everything
showing
checked
that you
off,
got
and
the,
yeah.
yeah. Um, but after that, I just did it because it was where I'm working, and all day long I'm seeing kids, just like, watch you. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Mr. High Five. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, so I literally, I have a bag because we have to carry like, like hall passes, band-aids, certain little things, right? For the kids. So I have a little, side bag. But I do have a bottle of hand sanitizer, in there. So now pretty much at the point anytime I have any contact with a kid, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, see you later, buddy. Get the hand sanitizer out and do it. So I just figured that, yeah, the shot, I might feel crappy and tired for one day, but in the long run, it'll probably be for the best. In my post that I made, when I was asking about it, um, I did have COVID. I did catch COVID. I think it was end of 21, early 22 ish. Um, and that was just, yeah, with seizure meds already, like I've mentioned with my other pancreatic issues, and then it was like the week, it was hell. Like I would have rather have been dead like that week. Like honestly, it was miserable. And that was after getting the second round of COVID shots. I still got it from these dirty little kids. So I just try and keep up on it now, and yeah, if you have a different, I don't know, belief, opinion,
I didn't
medical
get it.
opinion, political opinion, whatever you think, that's fine. But yeah, the reason I do it is just because of my job.
Yeah, I didn't get it because I didn't want to get it. I'm telling you guys, one day they're gonna come. Someone said they're gonna drop all this stuff from the sky. It's gonna trigger the medication. I mean, the shot that everyone took, and everybody's gonna turn to zombies. Yeah, that's not why I didn't take it, but it sounded funny. But yeah, I just was like, I didn't get COVID, so I didn't take it. Luckily, and I didn't have a job at that time. Um, I think when COVID did first hit, I had a job, but yeah, we were required to wear masks, so we were doing that factory work, I mean warehouse
The
work.
the 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 mask thing was pretty much everybody everywhere, no matter what job you had. That wasn't like a political or opinion thing. Like that was just like a everything that everybody had to do, right? Like during 2020. So
Yep.
that wasn't, yeah,
Needed to
that
go
wasn't
inside the
anything.
buildings.
And honestly, me being someone with a ton of facial hair, I thought it was kind of nice because like I could just put the mask on. Like I didn't have to do shit in the morning to get ready. Like I just put the mask on and be like, I ain't even gonna take care of this. I ain't even gonna shave, do nothing.
I used to just keep
That's
them
one
on
way to
all
look at
day.
it.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I had
that
someone
was
tell me like a horrible story, like when he got COVID. He doesn't have epilepsy, but he told me a story about COVID, and he was like, I went to jail and I got it, and then he was like, I started throwing up, so they put me in my own cell, and then he said he kept asking them to like come, like help him and come. He's having problems. He was like, I'm throwing up and then I'm shitting and then I'm throwing up and then I'm shitting at the same time. So head to ass back and forth to the toilet. And he was like, to make them come, he just overflowed the toilet. And I was, that's wild. He said they overflowed the toilet and then they brought him new sheets and stuff, but they didn't clean up, I guess. So yeah, that's messed up. But that's a jail situation story. It's really messed up that you treat someone like that, prisoner or not. Uh,
yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah.
It just comes
Doesn't
down to
matter what you did
responsibility.
or anything like
If you
that.
make
Like
it past
nobody, yeah,
booking,
nobody should be treated that way. That's bullshit.
yeah,
wow,
I'd
that's rough.
overflow the toilet too.
But
What else?
yeah, if y'all got 2 minutes to listen to me rant, so yeah, when I went to get my shots today, I went with my dad. He was going. He needed to get one too. So I told him, the person that I checked in with, I was like, hey, I was like, I have epilepsy. I'm on this med, blah blah blah. Do you guys think this is okay? And she was like, okay, give me your medical card, your record. We'll look it up. And then so they ended up taking like over an hour. They had to call a neurologist. They had to ask if this certain new one was under like a like was okay with the medications I was taking. Like my dad was just like in and out and done and within, like within a second. And it took me, yeah, a while for it, but they said it was safe. I really do feel quite out of it and tired, but I think that's just normal for anybody, not with anybody with just epilepsy. But yeah, I guess to answer or to reply to the post I made.
Yeah.
It's only been a few hours, but I'm here. I'm safe, and yeah. Other than being tired, I think I'll be all right. So
Uh,
Who did we hear was going to have an inhaler today?
yeah. Jeff has the medical inhaler. Where do you guys get those from? I haven't looked it up yet.
There's this company called EO, and I haven't tried the inhaler yet. I have to wait till Twisted gets here.
Can't wait. I will be ready.
I can't do it until she gets here. But I did. I did they have this spray stuff that you spray in your fingers and rub in if you have a spot where you have a lot of pain. And I put it on my back and neck last night, and it worked great. And then they have I forget. There's three things. Oh, they had gummies that were uh, really good, and they're made for pain. And this uh, inhaler. which they have one for pain, and then they have one that goes to get high.
Okay, and this is the one you're talking about. It's EO THC one.
Yeah. And both things I've tried so far work great.
Okay, so have you ever had I mean, how do you decide? This is what I'm having trouble like choosing the dispensary, because especially when we get sensitive to like switching medications causes seizures, like any kind of changes in the routine. Do you guys have better luck sticking with the same strain, even if it's sold at different dispensaries, or better off sticking with the same place and going with maybe a different percentage THC or CBD? Because right now
I
they're
don't pay
suggesting that I just
attention.
go higher CBD to see if
No,
if I adjust well.
it
Yeah,
depends on what they have.
I I was gonna say, does it I can't remember if you mentioned it before, so I'm sorry. But I don't know what state you live in.
Florida.
But at least I'm sorry.
I'm in Florida, but I'm going to
Oh, okay.
Tennessee, so I got to watch out, what all the rules are everywhere. Because I know Tennessee, Kentucky over there, they're like practically illegal hemp. So
Yeah, yeah. And even in, I'm in California, and obviously it's legal here.
lucky.
There's just been dispensaries I can go to anywhere, but there still are limitations on how much you can buy or how much can come in, like, a pack of gummies or a pre-roll or something, something like that. There still are limitations on it.
Yeah.
Even though I think everybody always thinks, California is just like it's all good to go and everything, but no,
it is.
there still are laws and limitations
They
and
gotta
everything
have
on it.
ways to
So,
tax it.
mhm.
Yeah. Like you said you were going to Tennessee. I'm in Texas right now where they're doing all those big crackdowns and stuff. And it's really not as bad as they're making it out to be. Like you can still buy all the flour and stuff. And it's pretty much the same in Tennessee and all that. It's just the crap they have at the store. And honestly, outside of that, you can really pick it up anywhere. Like
Yeah, I
everybody.
figure we'll just play it safe when we travel. And
Yeah.
if I have to go a couple weeks without while I get the new certification or see what that because I know I'm not gonna be able to use my Florida card up there.
Yeah, I would like
But
honestly like
yeah,
it's like Joe Schmo you meet at work is probably like, hey, like, it's one of
that's what
those
I'm saying.
things.
We're gonna have to get them involved in, family involved in some kind of club or whatever. And I,
Yeah,
look for
that's
the
pretty much
parents
how
that
it
look
goes.
like stoners and
Hmm.
I'll make the right friends.
Yeah,
This is
UPS
literally the
ground
way
at
to
the end
do
of the
it.
day. Yeah, it's like UPS ground always helps.
It's wild when I hear you guys say you got a medical ID. I mean, a marijuana ID. You guys got to go through that doctor and stuff. In California, we just go knock on the door with your ID out.
Yeah,
I know,
Arizona's the
right?
same way
Spooky. Like
too,
we could
isn't
just
it?
go down the street. We could just go down the street and buy
We could
a
walk in at
pre-roll real
True Leave or
quick, and then just
7-Eleven. It's like the
walk
same
back
thing.
home while we smoke it.
Yeah,
Well,
so there's like
Imagine
Medical
that.
card
7-Eleven.
to save taxes.
yeah,
Huh?
in Nevada and Arizona is the same way too. You can just walk into a shop and just grab it as long as you have
You
your
try that
ID.
in certain places here, you gotta have bail money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Reno or to Tahoe, and so yeah, in Nevada they do have it where you can just walk in because I just walked in, and yeah, it was cool. No ID
Yeah, that's where
needed.
I'm
I mean,
I
yeah, you need an ID, but other than
yeah.
that, if the bouncer's
Yeah, I
at
was
the
gonna say,
door,
even in Cali, you still need an ID. You still need to be
Uh-huh.
21 to to purchase it. Just like alcohol or whatever. But which is kind of silly. You can be 18 and buy tobacco, but you got to be 21 to buy weed. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I went in I lived
That's
in
a whole separate
Tahoe.
story. But yeah, that's how it is out here, at least.
Yeah, I was living in Tahoe before they even had the recreational and stuff, and they were still pretty strict on the prescriptions too back then. That was probably in like 2014, 2015.
you ever go to the Hard Rock right there in Tahoe?
Yeah, my ex-wife actually used to work at the Hard Rock.
Okay, so Next door to that is Embark, the dispensary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I went when I was out there.
Oh, okay. Like yeah, like right by State Line.
Yeah,
Yeah, by Mount
directly
Blue
by
and
the
stuff.
state line.
Yeah, I used to be a chef over at Snowflake.
Yeah, what I thought was funny is near the state line. So South Lake Tahoe is in California, and Lake Tahoe is in Nevada.
Yep.
So yeah, we always see the state line, and then step over the line, and there's a line literally right there. You can see it, and then
Yeah.
the Hard Rock is right there, and that nightclub across the street is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 10-minute walk from Nevada, my house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we got married 2 years ago in Vegas. My wife now, and that was pretty fun.
Sounds like it would be. Yeah.
But it was all legal now, so that was pretty cool. Just being able to drink and smoke everywhere you wanted.
Yeah.
All right. What's the icebreaker today? What we got?
The icebreaker is Kate has to come back. We need the icebreaker from her. I do not.
Yeah, I jumped in
remember.
late. I got busy. I'm back at work this week, so I've been having to do so much paperwork catching up for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't catch the icebreaker either today.
It's not coming to me. I think it might be something like, what's something you do that annoys people?
Oh, fuck.
I'll say exist.
I'd be like everything I do to my wife.
Okay. It is. Yeah, what is one thing you're constantly doing that annoys other people?
Me not replacing the toilet paper. I leave it on the. I put it on the counter, and it drives her nuts.
Oh man, put it on the roll. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday I fell in the toilet. I didn't notice the seat was all the way up. Both seats were up, and it was hilarious. I found it hilarious.
Oh, you pulled a lady.
Yeah. It was hilarious. But I do got something here, and it says neuropsychology test. Hello, guys. I want to ask your experience with neuropsychology tests. I'll have one in November, but my doc not really told me anything about it. In my next appointment with him, oh man, doesn't tell me anything about it. Just that it'll take a few hours. I will ask about it in my next appointment with him, but I still want to ask you guys who got it done. What can I expect? Searched about it a little, and I found it will be memory and logical questions. But I guess it's more complex than this. It'll count if my memory sucked before my epilepsy, seizures, or meds. I can take a break during that. I can focus for long enough, and also I'm a smoker, so I want a cigarette break if that's possible. And it's full talk, or like a test on paper, like in school. I can't really think about any other questions right now, but I'll really be grateful if you share your experiences. I have not had a neuropsych test. Sounds very interesting, but has not happened yet. Neuropsych.
Yeah, I haven't had anything like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't be too concerned of what consists of it, especially with that, whether it's a test, verbal or written. I just kind of run with it and do what they say, because I mean, if you kind of, you don't want to go into it with other people's answers, especially with a neuropsych type of thing, because I mean that can potentially ruin what the results are going in with preconceived type of answers that you're going to be putting on paper if it is something like that, or how you're trying to think on that. What she said during smoke breaks, tough shit. You might miss your smoke break.
Right.
Yeah.
There's something here though. It says, for the neuropsychologist. The neuropsychologist is an expert in how brains injury conditions affect your behavior, mood, and thinking skills. Learn what they do and how they differ from psychologists and neurologists, and how to become one. Very interesting.
So they're basically giving her like a psychological aptitude test after her seizures.
That's what it sounds like.
Mhm.
Basically to see if you're back yet.
Yeah. Or like the before and after on like cognitive function.
Yeah, my last hospital visit, they only took me is because I didn't remember who the president was.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the only reason they took me, because I didn't remember who the president was. And yeah, I guess that's a good reason these days.
Mhm.
The first comment here says, I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was about 12 or 13. Now in my 30s, I had a neuropsych testing for the first time last year when I had to stay in the EMU. I was on one of the most validating and helpful tests I've had in relation to my epilepsy. The test was long, 8 hours split in 2 halves, but so helpful. A lot of information recall, tests, logic tests, repetition, things like that. It can be frustrating at times. It isn't meant to be easy and it isn't meant to be challenging, but the results, for me at least, were so helpful. My relatively weakness, deficiencies lined up pretty much exactly with where my seizures originate from my brain. I hope this helps. Another one says, I hated when they did the follow-up test on me, like a year or two after surgery, but wouldn't disclose the results to me. Come on, Tess. Come on, at least let me know if I'm the same or worse. I think Kate said something like that, right? That they don't give you your results.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
This is referring to a neuropsych test, right?
Mhm.
What's this one talking about?
This is neuropsych. Yours actually is a
Okay, yeah.
neuropsych.
Mine is the RNS device. So essentially, now, how I understand it now is that when NeuroPace activated this, I gave permission for them to collect the data. In addition to what I get on the laptop when I actually use it and transfer it, then they also take a reading when I go in every 6 months for an appointment and settings adjustment. And at this last 2 visits, I couldn't even get an accurate response for like how much battery life was left. So yeah, they still treat the data as like theirs, and that is pretty frustrating. But I think these neuropsych evaluations, anything that ends up as part of your medical record, you should be able to access that. The thing is, my issue is that this is essentially data that belongs to a private company, NeuroPace. So that's where I get tangled with, can't see anything in my chart because I have an appointment with the neurologist, and the neurologist is commissioning this RNS representative to get it done. And I just don't have the results of that. So it's never in visit summary, or there's never in any indication of what the data that they collect is. And that's annoying.
Does
But
your
we'll see.
neurologist get the data?
The neurologist has her own sign-in, her own login
Mhm.
information to see the same RNS. When I signed into RNS on the laptop that they provided, it's it's the individual username and password, and that's what I have permission to collect and transfer data. Neurologist has her own, but is very adamant about that being private. No,
Okay.
thank you. That doesn't look yummy.
I had neuropsych testing last year, and I'm having it again, I think later in the month. And when I had it last year, my neurologist gave me the results. So it wasn't very helpful. It didn't tell me anything I didn't know, but they didn't hide it from me. That's it.
So, I mean, were you satisfied with the neuropsych test or results? Like, did you see the point?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah,
That's
there's
the
no
biggest thing
question.
I've heard like mixed reviews on was it worth it? It was really long, it was really tedious, but I have had mixed review or heard mixed reviews on patients who went through neuropsych testing to rule out or diagnose something, and it sounds like it just led to more tests.
Well, they didn't use it to rule out or diagnose anything. They used it to see how my memory was in relation to how a normal 76-year-old at that point memory would be.
Okay, so it served that purpose.
Yeah.
Is the neuropsych the appointment where they like show you the book of the symbols and try to make you remember it and all that?
Well, that's part of it.
I
mean,
think
this
I've
is,
been to that then.
they ask you a whole bunch of questions. And they give you a whole bunch of things, numbers, places, times, all different things, and you're supposed to, repeat it after they tell it to you.
Yeah, they kept trying to like make me remember. They were like, "Do you know what this is?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know what this is." And they're like, "Take your best guess." I'm like, "I know what it is. I just don't know the name of it." And they're like, "Take your best guess." That doesn't work like that.
Right.
It was the thing, the circle thing for Christmas, and it goes on the door. I forgot the name of it.
A wreath?
But I was like, huh?
A wreath?
A wreath. There we go. They were just like disappointed that I didn't know what it was, and they kept telling me to guess, and I'm like, I know what it is. I just never had to use the name.
Yeah. That's kind of a tough one too, especially if you're someone who doesn't celebrate Christmas or something too.
Yeah, I celebrate Christmas, but I've never had to buy one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it isn't something I thought of, and they had to remember all these signs and letters and sentences, and then go back up to a different sign, a letter, and ask me, "Do I remember these?" And I'd be like, "No." And she wanted to do brain surgery because I had bad memory, and I told her, "We're not doing that. It's not happening." And I'm not gonna do brain surgery because you think, yeah, she said there's little pockets in there in your brain that I could take out those little pockets and your memory will get better because it's getting too bad too fast at your age. This was like 2 years ago. I'm 36, so I was 34. She said my memory is getting too bad for my age and too fast. So, yeah, she wasn't in touch with the neurologist. The neurologist actually is the one who got me to do the neuropsych test. And yeah, I'm not all the stuff they wanted me to remember, and then I'm not doing a brain surgery. Yeah, she's like, all I would do is cut little squares of your skull in a few different spots. I've heard stories about people not coming back the same. And that's what I fear, not coming back as the regular old me. I like the me I have.
If it ain't broke.
But don't fix it.
Yeah, I think something that major that it would take way more than one test to convince any patient that the risk outweighs or reward outweighs the risk.
Is anybody taking Briviact?
Yep.
I took it.
Oh, okay, well I got something. Can't remember if I took my morning dose of Briviact. Is it okay to miss one? I take 200 milligrams of Briviact a day, 100 in the morning, 100 at night. I can't remember if I took my morning dose after my meal today. Is it okay to miss one dose if I hadn't taken it? I don't want to double
just
dose
wait till your next
because
dose.
I don't want to double dose because it usually gives me more anxiety.
Yeah, they can wait till their next dose. Perfectly fine.
The half-life of Briviact is 9 hours.
Yeah, I've double dosed a few times and just made me be more sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it caused more anxiety like that person said, but it does suck. Not
Yeah.
knowing. Now I have this. So I can put my pills in there and know what I took and what I didn't take. And it's pretty much gonna work for me.
Yeah. Mine, you can actually take the days out and they're like a little pod. So you just put it in your pocket. So if you go somewhere for the day and don't have the time to come back home.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Those
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Does your whole thing come out? Yeah, there you go.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so now you can take it with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
If
mentioned that
season helps.
Pookie. That's the same. That's the exact same pill box that you have. On the bottom, there's a hole in the
Oh
bottom for
yeah.
each day
Push to
for
open
each day of
here.
the week, so you can. Yeah, there you go. You got it upside down. So yeah, you can push it out, and you can take like just that one day of the week's pills like with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I never had to look at the bottom because everything I need is on the top. And I never imagined
Yeah,
there
yeah.
being
It, it,
something
it
like
took
that on the
me.
bottom. So I just never
It,
looked.
it
Yeah,
took
so if
me a
you only
while
got
to
to
figure
take
that
stuff
out
for like
too,
a
but
weekend or
yeah,
something, or just like 2 days, you can just take those ones out and take them with you or something like that. Or you just going somewhere for a night, and just take that
Nice.
day.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, yeah, just for that day, you're like, I don't want to ramble too much, but yeah, my work schedule has changed. So
Mm-hmm.
when I need to take them, it's sometimes like basically when I'm on my way to work. So I just take like the day's pills with me. I get to
Yeah.
work, I pop
Mine
them.
are weird
I take
too, because like I
I
have to
take them,
take
and
mine.
yeah.
I got like a 5, a 7, and a 10 pill. So I have to take one at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then my final pills at 10 p.m. And so like
Oh
I have to
dang,
have
yeah,
that thing on me all freaking afternoon.
yeah. Mine are 8 and 10
Mm-hmm.
a.m. and p.m. So
Yeah.
yeah, it just depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing for the day, or
Yep.
whatever. But yeah, sometimes it's just easy just to pop the little pill box. You already ones, especially for me with my right now I just switched to clobazam a couple months ago,
Okay.
so they come in 10 milligram pills, but I'm only supposed to take 5. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to use the pill cutter and chop them in half, so I have to do that ahead of time. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't just like take the bottle with me whenever I go. Like I already have to have it prepared and everything. So yeah, the definitely a recommendation to anybody that's on a scheduled yeah time frame for medication, a daily box, or just an alarm on your phone or something will help. Yeah.
Gonna go through these comments about missing the Bruviac. One said I got a tablet box with sections for every day and morning and evening. So in the future, I doubt you will know for sure, as you shouldn't ideally skip a dose. But if you don't remember, double taking might not be great either. Another comment says, if you miss a dose, it's not okay because it will make you feel weird. But in your case, you don't remember if you've taken it once or you start feeling irritable, anxiety, rise in heartbeat, and then must take it if I miss both my doses. I usually wait until I feel this.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.